So the Twinks, Jake, Stevens, and Carson
The twins.
are the final three. They were able to choose the order based off of who won the final captain and who won face-off. So Twinks will go first, then Stevens, and then Carson. Yeah, whenever you guys are ready, your 5 minutes will start.
Hey everyone. Hi, my name's Edmund. Nice to meet you. You know, I wanted to have fun this game. Obviously, I'm a 2-time winner. Taylor's a 1-time winner. People were gonna talk about me right away, right? And like, what?
I said shout out to
Ascendance Chaos. But I think that's why I was trying to take the piss out of the game. Like, I know we all care about the game. I was trying to downplay my threat level and saying, let's not take it too seriously. But obviously, I'm taking the game seriously. And I had my season 1 connections. Mind you, it was hard that we couldn't pregame.
I will say, I know y'all can see it as an advantage for us to have 2 people. We're from different seasons. It made it hard as crap to like be paired up. Like it made it hard. Like well, you know, it just made it hard.
I think we were a target right away, obviously. That's why that's my tagline this season. Are you voting for me? We got multiple votes.
It was a genuine question.
Actually though, to where I hope you guys see the gameplay, that how it worked. I couldn't pregame, she couldn't pregame. We were supposed to keep it a secret. Everyone else had all the time in the world to talk about everything as the game was going on, to where we kind of had to deal with the hand that we were dealt as we walked in. And it was season versus season, blah, 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 which honestly was our advantage because we had connections from both seasons. Sorry, I'm not shading season 2, but 1 and 3. And I think we did a good job. We flipped when we needed to. We lied when we needed to. But with
we
how...
were trying to be honest. Like,
right.
For real, like,
y'all...
Jake Sparks, I'm going to shout you out. I know I was dramatic on the way out because I was just being dramatic.
Oh.
But, like, we were loyal to you as shit. And
y'all made me clock in, and I clocked in today. And she did too, but she was always clocked in.
But, like, it was the fact that we did have to clock in. Like, it was, like, hard. Like, all of you guys are so smart. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to, like, buy your votes, but, like...
I hope you guys actually have questions if you want to talk about certain moves. I'm not going to go and like, give you some long-winded thing. I think you guys see the game we played, and I hope that you respect the game we played.
And if you hate us, just like ask us a good question, please.
I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
I don't know where my water bottle is. It's right behind me. It's right behind me.
I'm going to take a sip.
And good luck, y'all. Like,
yeah, of course.
Seriously, it was fun.
Hi. I want to say, I don't have a lot to say. Today, this weekend was really fun. It was, you know, a lot of emotions a lot of the time. I definitely came in with people I wanted to work with, obviously Eric, Brad, and the people beyond that, like no surprise. But I definitely wanted to like work with my like tight group of people, and like that was kind of just my tunnel vision mindset, was like my people against the world. I don't know. But yeah, so definitely that was my game plan for that. I won too many competitions, but I fought my way here. I know today was like crazy, but I won when I needed to, or I had people that were gonna have my back, Michael Davis, when I couldn't win, and I was, you know, I wanted to stay true to my like people that I really wanted to work with full time, and you know who you are, and yeah, so here I am. That's all I'm gonna say.
So obviously I know like minis are supposed to be like fun, but I really did take this game seriously from start to finish. I wasn't here to, you know, have fun, I was here to win. Obviously having fun is like the cherry on top, but my main goal was to do as well as I possibly could. I didn't do as well as I would have liked to in Ascendance in season 2, and so I wanted to kind of use this experience as a way to correct some of my mistakes. I think that I played a very strong game given the lack of connections that I have. I didn't do production. I haven't been here since the beginning. And like, no matter what people want to say, like, I think me being on season 2 like was a disadvantage, just given like the numbers and like who was on the cast. So like the fact that I am now the last like season 2 person here, and you know, this final three is comprised of a lot of like connections. You know, I don't blame them for that, but I didn't have those. I was able to get myself into multiple alliances. I had one with Ozzy, Ali, and Eric. I also had kind of like a duo-on-duo alliance with Jake and Erica, and then with Eric. It wasn't really an alliance, but we were gonna like shield each other. I also feel like I played a game where I was constantly like perceived in a way that allowed me to progress further. A lot of you probably didn't see me as the biggest threat, and I tried to capitalize on that. I also feel like I played a much more pushy game than I have in the past, which I know is like a major flaw of mine in season 2 of Live. I kind of just like sat back and like let people like tell me what to do, but in this mini I tried to be more like pushy, more out front with my votes. You know, I had to vote some of my people out, but a lot of that was due to necessity or because I wasn't, you know, present at their elimination, so they ended up leaving. And I'm totally down to clarify any questions or comments you have. But I played hard from start to finish, and I'm excited to explain that with my moves. So thank you. And good luck.
Okay. One at a time, each jury member will ask one of the finalists a question.
I told them they may ask one question. They can ask it to whoever they want. They just get their 5 minutes.
Start there.
Okay, so I can ask one question, but
A general question.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think for me, what I'm curious about is, as the first person out of the game, I got to interact with everyone as they left, and I was surprised by the amount of people who left with hurt feelings. And I'm curious if anyone in the finals has anything that they want to apologize for, anyone they want to apologize to. If you don't, that's fine. But I would love to hear if there's anything you maybe regret or feel bad about from anyone.
It's giving season 1, like even Michelle said season 1 that I was a little emotionally manipulative, but like that's what I owned up to even at the end there. That's not my intention. At the end of the day, it's a game to me. I love you guys as people, even when this is all over. I'm glad it's finally gonna be over so that you guys do realize I'm a genuine person, and like I'm not just trying to play you for the game. But like obviously, I told her my intention wasn't to make Erica cry or make Jake cry at all. So I'm sorry that I made y'all cry, but I already said sorry to you guys. We already talked about it. But I'm sorry if anyone felt like I was being emotionally manipulative. That wasn't my intention. I was playing the game as the game.
And I'm also gonna apologize if I hurt any feelings. I'm not gonna say it's because I'm monotone. I'm gonna say like, you either like love me or hate me. I kind of just run my mouth, and I really care about you all as people, and I think that's what made this hard. Like I liked you all. Like it was hard to make votes. Certain votes, honestly, like Jake and Eric and the one that I called out, like I do because I like you as people, and I felt like I could like mess with you guys a little bit more and respect. Like y'all were doing good. You guys were doing well. Kiara, like I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you were like blindsided by the end, and I'm gonna like shout out to you personally. Like you did a lot for us, and I know you were like slaying this game. And as much as we were like, don't take it seriously, like we got competitive. But like I hope you all know, and I will talk to anyone after this. Like on a personal level, I hope that like I did not impact you, and I would be happy to like talk with any of you about this game. So.
I have a few probably as well. Ali first, for having you be on my team alone. Like that, like, you know, it was like a tit for tat kind of thing, the sides and how it was. So I apologize that you were like kind of the one that if my team lost. Eric, I think that had there been any other person besides like my core people that we could have withheld our deal, I think a little bit longer. I'm sorry to Memes and Nick for thinking that y'all voted for me round 1. The gag of the season.
I'm sorry for that to you.
Apologize to me, yeah. No, and I apologize if like, 'cause I know there's a lot of like, calm down, you're playing like you're doing too much. Like if it ever was too much, I think we all came to play, we all paid money to be here to play. So I apologize for that, but like we all wanted to play, so I wanted to play. So, but yeah, that's it.
From my perspective, I lied a lot, which I'm sure I will showcase more as I kind of talk about my game. When I look at the way that I treated you all, I think it was always in a game context, you know, never personal. Nick, I think I screwed you over. I voted you out. obviously that wasn't personal. It was because you played a very good game. But if, you do feel hurt by that, I apologize if it's taken out of a game context. Ozzy, I know we had our group. I could not save you there. There was literally nothing I could have done, and it was going to be you or me, and it had to be you, because I wanted to make the end. So if you feel hurt by that move, I apologize, but I had to do what was best for me. And other than that, I think that's about it.
Oh, okay. Hey guys, so
Love that.
I wasn't in the game too long. I was vibing the entire time, but like I want to know like what was like your. I'm a fun person. I was joking around a lot. So what was like your most fun moment of the game, personally or challenges? Like, bruh.
I mean, I think it's obvious. Like I said, I was trying to take the piss out of the game. I just wanted to come here and have fun because I knew I would be a target right away. And I took the game so serious the first time I played in live that I wasn't present for the moment. I wasn't just having a good time. And I can actually say I had a great time just shooting the shit. And just taking the seriousness out of everything. Like yelling at Jake, or I probably yelled at all of you at one point, but like as a joke, you know what I mean? So I just had fun. I had fun all together. Like this is the first time where I've actually had fun in Ascendance because I told myself to like not take it too seriously.
And I think that's why I think like the perception came off that way. And like I'm not saying perception is in reality, but like we were being loud and like obnoxious, and I'm gonna own that. But like I think it's because like I'm like trying to think of like a one moment, but I feel like whether it was inside the game, outside the game, like I have made a personal connection with like each and every one of y'all, and I can like spit facts about like stuff. Like I do care about you as people, and I feel like we had to play the game that we played just with the hand we were dealt. And I know like some things like came off a certain way, but like even though we're on one team, I feel like sometimes like the expectations for us were a bit higher because you had connections with each of us, and like sometimes we like for real we're not on the same, like we should on a real note. Like I feel like I could like party with all of y'all, like sleep in till 10 with all of y'all. Like I do like you all as people, and I want to continue to know more about you guys. So.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I think the game was fun. I think yesterday was a lot more fun for me personally. I think Pacific Challenge. I think the first challenge in the snow and the rolling balls, I think was also really fun. And I also think it's interesting because like we all like could be like I could vote Ozzy and Kira and Carson a million times, and we could still kiki and laugh, whatever whatever happened for the most part. But it was yeah. So I like that like it was like whatever because it was a mini. It was fun.
I would say my most fun memory from the game was finding the half pendant in like the side of the couch, and then just like having fun with the pendant like later in the game. I also think the escape room was fun. I know there's like mixed opinions, but I had a good time.
That's a wrong opinion.
And
It was fun.
like I will say, like, as someone who is like younger, like it meant a lot that like there were people willing to like not go out. Like I know like that opportunity was presented, but like I didn't want to feel like left out. So yeah, I appreciate those of you that stuck back because like I didn't want to like say, oh, like you can't do this because I'm young. So
I will say one more thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people heard it. So at Final 6, sometime before, he got this power, from you, the public vote.
Nice.
Got that power, and I was like, can I hold it? And then we started talking, I put it in my pocket, and I thought it expired at Final 6. I was like, I'm just gonna play this. And the way like I didn't actually read it to know it expired, and they thought you gave it to me. I was like, that was a fun moment for me and you. I feel like I loved
the public
that.
vote,
The public vote was
that's
funny.
So
like
we either need to start over here or one of you gets to talk and then they get to talk because you're taking half the time, and I know it's not intentional, but it's not fair. So when they're done, if the other one wants to talk, that's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to know who was your guys' main person that you wanted to vote out? Like the whole time, like who was the worst for your game that you wanted out and made sure that you weren't against them to get to this point?
Eric, I'm so sorry. It's such like a
I'll take
because
it.
you're so good. You're like so freaking like challenge was fun. Like I am so the way like I just felt like we were playing like this flawless game and everyone was eating it up. Like we said as soon as we
We had
started,
to flip the
we
narrative.
said, oh my gosh, the way that like Eric's gonna be the one to get us out, and like I know like you knew like you were one of the ones to get us out, and so it was just like it was you. It was you. I'm sorry.
No, I'll take it as a compliment.
I think I have a few, just because like a lot of y'all just wouldn't die. So I'm probably gonna say Ozzy, just because I feel like I threw his name out way too much, whether I voted him or not, and he just would not die. So I can that you continue to live, so I would probably say Ozzy.
I would say Jake's farts. Yeah. I mean, you're like a beast of a competitor. I knew how good you were at comps, and I think the round you left, like you were in a really good spot to kind of like flip back and forth. So even though I didn't vote you out, I think you're my answer.
So, I'm more of the fun juror. Well, you stole my thing after I said okay. But, like, I came into it wanting to have a good time, so I want to know how did you make the game fun for yourself and for others around?
Stumped us on that.
Someone else.
Well,
Yeah,
y'all
you
can
guys can
start.
go while we.
Do you want me to start? Okay, like I mean, yeah, I'm like a very like self-deprecating human. So like I think I did try to keep like the positive energy. Like when there were like little play fights and stuff, I like fed into them. Like especially with like Edmund and Taylor. And I think they kind of brought like the ratings for a lot. Like
Girl, I am the rating.
yeah. Yeah, I just if you know me like outside of games, you know like I'm a very positive person. I like to like just bring like happiness and be myself, and I try to do that this whole game. Like sometimes I feel like I stick out, so yeah, it was fun to be in an environment where I could just like grow and like be a human.
I think for me, a lot of it was like I tried to like make me like kiki for the most part. I know it was like really stressful in the moment, but just like the little taps like this I do with like Kira or you, like I love that. And I just I'm gonna beat a dead horse, but I just wanted to play with my friends. Honestly, like you're all my friends, but like Erica, like blah. But yeah, I want to keep my people around and have fun. I don't know.
I feel like I already
Yeah,
talked
not
about
to
my
just
fun,
like
but
steal
yeah.
like everything they're saying. It was just like the cast, honestly. Like that's what made it hard. And I don't know. I know some of you guys heard me say this. It's like it makes me feel like genuinely like absolutely horrible that some of y'all are like really hurt, because I know that like we're a lot and like we just assume people like are fine with it because we do it, and some people like that. And I'm also a very self-deprecating person too. But it's just like talking to you guys about like real stuff, politics, body positivity, like trying to get 69 on a dartboard, like just like it's the outside.
We did get it though.
It's the outside the game stuff. Like I feel like we were really all good yesterday about trying to include everyone. Like we had like 3 different plan options, and it seriously was just like hanging out with y'all and like just vibing. This game was too much.
My turn. All right, I'll be really quick. Congratulations, guys. In a situation to where you guys are the jury and we are the finalists, I'm curious who you guys would be voting for.
Kira. Period. We already talked about it
Talked about
upstairs.
this, Kira. But there's a few close for me, and it's honestly it's hard to say, but like I think like especially like that popped out to me, Nick and you two, like you guys are way too freaking smart to be like for a fast-paced game. Like the rounds that like I feel like people flipped or were like super close, like and weren't unanimous. Like we all were doing it at the same time. Like the round we were trying to make a move, y'all voted us too. Like you guys totally read the crap out of the game, and it was just like
To where we had to make our move.
we're
You know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah, that's what so for sure. And Michael too, yeah, so I'm sorry, Ali.
Shade, bro.
Yeah, I would say Kira and Michael as well. Like your social game was top tier, and you kept winning all the comps. So.
We should just be one team next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
Okay, me. I'm being slightly spicier, if that's okay. So,
Give it to me.
right now I am leaning towards voting for you two to win, because we took you out for a reason with the pendant that Carson convinced me to do. You won your way back. I Nick and I called you out at the thing and said, you guys have all of this, but my question isn't for you. Instead, I want Jake and Carson to answer why I shouldn't vote for them.
Do you want me to start, or do you want to go? I think you should vote for Jake or I because neither of us have been voted out, which I think is impressive. I think that I was responsible for them getting eliminated because when you, Eric, or we were in a group of 5 upstairs, and I was like, it should be Edmund and Taylor. And I was kind of like leading that charge, and then I looked at you dead in the face, and I was like you know, like I was like, you need to play that because I didn't want Kira to go, because I was worried about all these connections. Okay, connections that were going on. A big reason why I started working with Edmund and Taylor is because I wanted them to be in the end with me. That's why I gave them the pendant. And they're amazing competitors. I'm not doubting them at all, but that's just where my head is at with that. Olive.
Yeah, no, I think you touched on it before. I think just the fact that they have 4 feet that can go disperse as much as they can, and I think it's hard because good cop, bad cop kind of thing. Whereas we either were good cop in your eyes or we were bad cop in your eyes, and we didn't get to come back and like, oh well, Eddie said that, so here's what I'm going to tell you. We had to either be all in with you liking us or be all in with you not liking us. So we didn't get the pleasure of being in 2 spaces at once and being a little bit spicier.
Can I rebuttal?
Can we rebuttal?
Is that allowed? It's not.
It's your question.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. What I will say is, honestly, we started working with Carson around when you went home, Jake. That's why I was like, are you voting for me? Are you voting for me? And like that's when we finally started our relationship, Carson, because I was just kind of like, be for real with me. And I think going into the end game, Carson relied a lot more on us than we had to rely on Carson. And to Jake's point, I want to say, I think we leaned into the fact that's why we were worried about you, because you were saying you guys do have 4 feet, but we lean into it. I look at her, I say, separate and go. I'll do my thing, you do your thing, come together, and we make our move. And that's.
And the only thing I'll rebuttal too is that y'all let it happen. Y'all let it happen. I know we have more, but y'all could have been like following us and stopped. You guys could have voted out first. And to the battle back, we knew day 1 someone's coming back in, and I know you guys did not want us to come back in, and things changed when we came back in. So I get it. We got voted out. But like we knew our asses on the line, and we also tried to fight back and make a move the same round, which is why I respect y'all getting us. You guys got us good. You guys got us good, and it was a move, and that's like we got back out, but we played to get back in, and like coming back in, we like even said, like I say, I feel like we have a really good chance if we come back in. Like let's like make it up. So yes, we got out, but we were not safe ever, and we have the social capital to get your powers. We didn't have to find anything. Y'all didn't have to give us anything, and y'all all gave it to us, so.
Is there
Sorry.
time left or no?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
I will just say, I know this has been touched on, but like having 2 people is a huge advantage over 1, like no matter how you look at it. There were many opportunities where I could have voted out Edmund and Taylor, for example, at the Aussie vote, but I chose not to do that. So I think that that's an important note. Like no matter how you look at it, like 2 people are always gonna like have more capital than 1 person, especially if there's many connections already.
Can I say one thing to that? So while I totally get what you're saying, that is not a fault of them because we all knew these were the rules we were playing with, and we said it. We called it out at the thing and said, so I don't love penalizing them because they are playing within the constraints that they have. And obviously everyone do their own, but I know I wouldn't penalize you guys for that because that was the game you were forced to play. And like we said, the writing was on the wall, it was coming, and you made it to the end, so.
Alright.
Go for it.
I'm gonna be the opposite of Jake, so I'm only going to ask Edmund/Taylor a question. What was the reason for getting me out? And after, I gave you my pendant of power, or half pendant, I guess, I did nothing but show you loyalty, and I heard that you guys were the ones that led the charge to get me out.
I want to start on that one. No, you start everyone.
No, let me take this. No, actually, because I hurt Eric's feelings.
I know, because I just want to, you're going to go into spiel, I just want to say really quick. we were in separate rooms, I genuinely thought you wanted voted out. Like, that's kind of what I heard. And I think at one point maybe you said it was okay, but I guess I didn't realize that it was like, y'all can get me out, but like you wanted to play. And so like I thought you were kind of like mentally a little bit timed out. And when I heard you were crying, like I teared up a bit, like I felt genuinely bad. And so I do truly apologize, and I wanted to address you specifically for that one.
If we're talking about the game, right? The game. For getting you out, we had a very strong relationship with Kira, and Kira had put her ass on the line to save us multiple times.
I didn't.
I'm not saying you didn't, but we were already together, you know what I mean? Kira was a new connection to me, and that
But
I felt
Kira
like
wasn't even out going in like a name being put around that room.
no, but it was to maintain that relationship because she didn't want to flip on her side. She wanted to flip to you, and I went with it because Kira had saved us a lot and put her ass on the line going against her people. So I felt like I had to show back that loyalty to her in terms of the game.
Yeah. And we would have gone home had she not left us.
You also would have not gone home if me and Jake hadn't have put on Eric and Huff.
Well, I didn't know that was a thing, so.
You cry, I cry. I guess it's a thing. Ooh.
It's just a game. Like I'm not mad at you guys at all.
I know.
I know.
I know, but I already talked
Can we
to you.
talk after?
I already talked to her, but like, yeah.
Good. So to piggyback off of that, because you know Jake has said a few times how Erica's his best friend and how you know I know that I'm sure Erica going home was a big blow to Jake's game, of course. I'm really interested in this question isn't just for you, but generally, what was the biggest blow to your game, and how did you recover from that, or did you just kind of go with the people that caused the biggest problem with your game? Like, why would you turn around and possibly work with someone who literally just fucked your friend over?
Yeah.
But that's for everyone.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what you just said. I'm sorry.
What was the biggest blow to your game, and how did you recover from it?
I think the biggest blow to my game was all the powers being played. I think the biggest blow to my game was Eddie telling you to calm down, because that psyched me out all of today. So that's why I kind of was the way I was the rest of the day. But yeah, I was just like, a slew of powers being played that, resulted in my people going, which of course would upset me any way I wanted. But yeah, Erica going just kind of started that. But I know me and Eddie kind of had a deal, and
Kinda.
we did. And they were like an untouchable for me, just like Erica was, just like Michael was, and I wouldn't. It's not how I play, so I don't do that.
For me, I think one of the biggest blows was Eric getting voted out. I wasn't at that elimination, so there was literally nothing I could have done. Eric was a massive shield, as Taylor and Edmund said, and he was also a very strong ally, as you all know, for many reasons. But yeah, losing Eric put me more out into the open, and that's really where I had to kind of play a more like independent game and prioritize myself, and that's when my gameplay became a little bit more cutthroat.
The biggest blows to my game were probably one of the powers, like I could not find my own to save my life. I still don't know how y'all did. Two, honestly, like it's kind of hand-in-hand because y'all are so good. The biggest blow to me was like, even though I'm owning I was a part of it, was like voting the season 3 girlies was like honestly like the hardest thing for me, and I know I did it. I was just as guilty, like we did at the same time, quite literally. But the biggest blow is for real. Like when I asked you, I was like, "Did you vote me?" And you're like, "Yeah." I was like, I felt so bad doing it just because I know a little bit, more how to deal with him for a week, and so that was hard. And the biggest blow is like honestly like knowing how hard you played this game, Kiera, and how much you deserve to be sitting right here, which is why we did what we did. And that I was just like, I felt like I was taking this many away from you. Like, I don't know how y'all perceived it, but I feel like I was taking this many away from you. So, it's like the biggest one. Because we got all personal on the couch last night.
You still have.
Congratulations, yeah. I mean, congratulations. Obviously, we all played before. I mean, it's its own little mini all-star game, and it's a ghost of the past mini, so I hope that our pasts and the ghosts that might be there also get taken into account, and how things may have changed for some of us or not.
Well, my question was going to be for Julie, Twins, and Carson, but I feel like you guys touched up on it. But I do want to ask Edmund, do you think you guys would have got back if it wasn't for Taylor? For the battle bag.
No, why you guys sat there and I was cheering her on. And again, leaning into having a person with you, I was trying to be her biggest cheerleader because I knew she would kill the endurance, not me, as I'm asleep over there on the floor. And I hear like memes like fall slowly, and I thought it was Taylor. But no, I wouldn't be sitting right here if Taylor didn't win that competition for us.
It was a super basic question, but you guys answered my other part, so I figured I'd ask something sort of juicy.
Okay, so with this being Ghost of the Past, like Nick said, I want to hear, obviously, with Edmund and Taylor, like Taylor, you can't talk about her season. Edmund, I want to hear what you did differently this time in your game, and then with Jake and Carson, what you did to improve your game from your first season.
I mean, whoever I can start. So like, I was very disappointed with myself after season 2 of Live. I was the first juror. I got 11th place. And then I played the mini after season 2, made it to the finals and lost. So here I am once again in the finals. So I obviously had a lot that I needed to correct. You know, me being a self-aware person, I know that comps are not my strength, and Ascendance is a very comp-heavy game. And so I really had to rely on being resilient and talking with the right people at the right time, and making the moves that I thought were going to benefit myself. You know, sometimes that was cutting an ally, and those moves weren't easy. Other times I stuck with my allies. But I think in season 2, I played a very sort of wishy-washy game where I wasn't really clear with who I wanted to move forward with. And in this game, I really tried to, you know, protect the people I was with until I literally couldn't. You know, when I look at all of my closest allies in this game, Ali, I wasn't as elimination. Eric, I wasn't out as elimination. Jake, I was working with you, I didn't vote you out. Erica, I did vote you out, but that was kind of mutual. Nick, I think you're probably the person I screwed over the most, which I did, you know, touch on earlier. But anyway, my point is, I think I was much more direct and confident in who I am as a human. Because truthfully, the way I got eliminated in season 2, I felt pretty terrible. No one was talking to me at that round, and I wasn't treated very well. So I'm proud of my game no matter what happens tonight, and I think I improved a lot.
Oh, I think for me, season 1 a lot for me was rainbows, butterflies, anybody but me, get the final fight, get as far as I can and call it a day. So I think coming here, I definitely wanted to you know, I kind of, in season 1, I let the game play around me, and I wasn't in charge of anything. So this game, I wanted to come around, I wanted to, you know, turn up competitions, which, you know, are, a lot of times they're luck, so I can't say I meant to win all those. But no, I definitely wanted to come in and you know, play strategically, play a physical game. So that's why, you know, I had my allies. I kind of was a little game body for a little bit when I was throwing out different names in there. But I think I just wanted to I wanted to actually play instead of just hear what's happening around me and kind of watch it and hope for the best. So I think this game I came in and, you know, played. I you know, I won a lot, and then I, you know, was game body all the other times. But no, I definitely wanted to actually play instead of just kind of show up and then lose it like I did season 1. So
I think what I did differently this game is just I was open to being more fluid in moving with the game. I still think I was taking the reins in the end game, pushing the votes, and making sure they were going through, which is why, Carson saying, I was with my allies until I couldn't protect them. He couldn't protect them because we were going after them, and he was voting with us, you know what I mean? So I think I was just open, I was being more fluid with just, I'm such a control freak, and season 1 I was really trying to control everything, and I was kind of fine with letting everyone else be chaotic, and then kind of roping the people in that I needed to rope in at the last minute based off of what everybody else was saying about each other, to where I wouldn't be problematic in a game sense of what I'm saying is gonna get us targeted. So yeah, I think I was letting the chaos happen, and then I was pulling who I needed to pull in when we needed to make the vote.
Congratulations, guys, for how far you've made it. My question is for all of you, and I am curious as to who was your number one ally. You can say more than one if you want, just not to like the whole list, but and I also would like to know if they're not sitting up with you or next to you, what did you do as a part of their vote out? So even if you were safe, like how did you respond? Were you a part of it? Did you try to work against it? Walk us through.
Like I said, what? Yeah, we do have different, but for me, the only person I pre-gamed with in this entire game was Jake Stevens. Jake knew I was coming, Jake knew I was playing, so Jake was my number one, and that's why I gave Jake fire making, face off. But yeah, Jake.
Is that it? Oh, you go ahead.
Honestly, and y'all were close, which made us close, but Jake starts is like, honestly, do I want to be my number one ally with from the beginning? And I know, it's as he like kind of reminds, he got me good. And then second half of the game, like here, we raved about you, like every time you voted in the second part of the game too, like, even for honorable mentions, like you know I would love to, yeah, so. And how I was part of your vote out, I mean, I voted you guys both out, but I feel like, again, like what he says, like, I really do want to play loyal, but with like y'all looking at us all the time and being in the spotlight, when we were saying, are y'all voting us, it was real, so I just feel like I did vote you guys, I think, aside from a few, I think I might have voted all of you, but, I think that was just, yeah, I feel like we had to, we did.
I think for me, believe it or not, Erica, I think the honorable mentions, Michael, I would have never voted for you. I think in any other situation, I wouldn't have voted for you either means. And same with Nick. I think I shut his name down when Robbie said it, and then I didn't vote him out when he left.
The second part of the question is how, like, in their vote outs, how did you work to either keep them in? Were you a part of voting them out?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I thought you were staying, so that was a shock to me when you did laugh. Yeah, I wanted Michael to stay, so I was like, I kind of had a closer tight with him over you. But,
Okay. So my closest ally was actually Ali, who's not here right now. I know a lot of people thought it was Eric and I, but I knew Eric had a lot of connections with like Nick and Ozzy, and even Jake Sparts, and so I knew like if I was going to, have someone that I could trust, it would be Ali, and unfortunately he was taken from me very early on, and I wasn't at his elimination. But I think that losing him kind of kicked my head into high gear, and I was like, okay, I need to really make sure that I'm being smart and intentional with my interactions. I think in the second half of the game, I would say Nick was probably the person I was closest to. And I did end up voting you out, but that was because you were so good at challenges, and I thought that you had a very good path if you had made it further. You are!
I won!
No, I know your synergy too. And so, when the second half of the game, kind of hit, I realized, yes, I have these deals, but I need to do what's best for myself, and so that's why I had to end up voting you out. Yeah, I would say those were my two closest people.
We will do closing speeches. We'll start with Carson.
Do you want me to stand?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, I'll just stand. Yeah, so looking back, I think any of us would make an amazing winner. I know this is a very competitive Final Three, and I'm gonna be happy no matter what the result is. I genuinely believe that I deserve to win. I think I played a very strong and resilient game. A lot of people tried to get me out, and it didn't work. I've never been voted out of this game. The only time I was left out, I believe, was when Jake Sparts was eliminated. So I'll be self-aware in that regard. But I managed to get to the end of the spot with almost, well, I shouldn't say no connections, but a lot fewer than everyone else, in my opinion at least. I also didn't have to rely on comps to get to the end. I relied on perception. A lot of people were like, you know, Carson's not a threat, so let's get him out later. Or like, you know, Carson is like aloof, you know? So like I played up that role. And I think that that was a big and kind of instrumental part in why I'm sitting here. I also do think I'm responsible for Edmund and Taylor getting voted out, or at least I played a ginormous part in that. And so I think that that is worth acknowledging. You know, there were opportunities where I could have taken a shot and I didn't. And that was because I felt confident in the game that I had played. I also think looking back at the jurors, I treated you respectfully, right? Like I only voted out my people when I had to, aside from Nick. And you know, obviously like the game is the game, but I hope you can recognize that like me lying was because I wanted to be someone new compared to my season 2 self. I was very passive and very reactive in season 2, and I did what I had to do to get in this spot using just myself, right? My allies got taken out super early. So no matter what happens, I'm thankful, but I'm proud of my game. Okay.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot to say. This weekend's been super fun. I'm happy with how I played, and I know that everything that I did this game, for better or for worse, got me here. And you know, that's the end goal, to get to the end. So that's definitely what I wanted to do. Of course, I would have had it my way. You know, Erica would have been here with me. Yeah, I won competitions more than I really needed to. Some I accidentally won. I don't know. But yeah, I'm here. These guys are amazing. Love you all.
Did you hear that?
I don't know what you said really,
Okay.
but. You just gave me the hottest tea. I'm just kidding. First off, congrats. I do think A will be a good winner. Second off, I love you all. We love you all. And like, Erica, I can't look at you right now because I love you and I'm so sorry. And again, like, I know might be like a broken record. Like, I don't want anyone to feel like I came with them personally, and I like am more than happy. And I'm sorry we were crazy and you had to deal with us and didn't know you like couldn't prepare to deal with us because we got like sprung on you. But yeah, I'm just gonna say like a lot of you are saying it was like hard with the duo or it's easier with the duo. Like Jake said, and thank you, honestly, respectfully. Like we did not get to pick that. Like we are dealing with the cards I dealt. Winner, 2-time winner. You know, like y'all saw his season, and like some of you guys have seen me from Ascendance like so far and past stuff. Like I feel like you guys are all super smart and saw it was going on like in front of your face, and like I am truly sorry when I didn't vote you, and I feel like truly we had to vote the people we did that time. Like it wasn't personal, and I feel like especially after we came back, we I feel like led the charge, and it made it so much harder. Like voting, like seriously, like the certain votes are really hard, like because you guys were playing such an amazing game. But I feel like we honestly, the hand we were dealt, like we didn't have to rely on challenges. We got people to give us powers. We always knew what was going on, like always. So like we were never like blindsided. Like we knew we were getting votes, which is like we did what we did. Like, and yes, Carson is saying like we, I don't know. I just feel like he was saying like thinks he's responsible for us being here. Like and he in the first vote, yes, like I do believe that he was like a major part of that. And yes, I got to come back again. You guys. Someone here was coming back, like no matter what, and I don't think it should be used against them because it wasn't a surprise. And I like broke my arm to get back in this game, and like honorable mention, like you would have, like I felt bad about that. But yeah, we didn't have to win challenges. I wanted to so bad, so bad. I'm glad we technically got one, but it was at the end. But we like weren't safe, and I don't know, can you help?
We had never won a team competition. We won one challenge at Final Four.
I'll just rant.
Our target was huge. Our target was massive. And we got by based off our social play, our social game. I didn't have to rely on powers. We didn't have to play the pendant till 5, and we weren't even getting votes, but I'm not gonna pendant somebody else. I'm making sure I'm getting Final Four, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I feel like to me it's very apparent how we played, what we did. We didn't have to rely on competitions or powers.
And we're gonna own like I guess we're like the villains, but like I feel like we
Are we?
I feel like we kind of are.
Yeah, we
based
are.
on,
We
like,
are.
You know, like who we voted, but like seriously, like
I just think it's a testament with how big our target was.
we had to play with the target. Like we had a target immediately.
But we leaned into the target.
We couldn't hide because we were 2 people. He said he got to like hide. We could not do that. We absolutely could not hide. So like perks of 2 brains, but like perks of like hiding in the bathroom and maybe no one noticing. Like we get to hide a little bit better. So I don't know. I love you all. And the last thing I'll say is like, are you guys voting for us this time? It's like, are you guys voting for us this round?
Actually, vote me this time.
Actually, you guys have permission to vote us this time. Yeah.
Okay, we will be back with the vote.